Some players play for the big heavy trophies, others just prefer the giant bags of cash. And it's FedEx Cup season, so we're here. It's cash money season, giant bags of cash on the line. Who are the cash players? We'll certainly find out over the next couple weeks. I'm Geoff Fienberg for Odds Checker to preview the Northern Trust Open, the first leg of the FedEx Cup. Like the video, subscribe so these can drop right in your feed, and feel free to leave a comment. Tell me who you think is going to take down the Northern Trust Open this week at TPC Boston. This feels like a major. The field strength of this leg of the FedEx Cup, which is now, I guess, the first leg, 125 players. It has major field strength. You could put this field up against any field that will be played the entire year. It's stronger than the Masters. It holds its own against any other major. That's just the bottom line of what we get when we've cut ourselves down to the top 125 FedEx Cup point earners at TPC Boston this week. Only the top 70 will advance to next week. Past winners here include the cream of the crop: Bryson, JT, Rory, Ricky. There's a common theme here. Elite players really do seem to take home these FedEx Cup events, more so almost than the WGCs and the majors. These FedEx Cup playoff events really do go to the cream of the crop on the PGA Tour. Let's waste no more time. I'm going to start at the very top, guys. At the very top. Haven't yet done this for Odds Checker yet. Bryson DeChambeau, 12-1. This is almost 2.5 units. Let's be perfectly honest about that. There's no dipping around when you want to play a golfer in this price range. You got to go big. You go home. You know what? You play whatever makes you comfortable. But for me, when I get down here, I'm going deep into my pockets, where I'm almost emptying out and I'm only feeling my thigh now when I put my hand in my pocket. That's what happens when you unload on Bryson DeChambeau. There are 12-1s out there. BetMGM, Bet365, got to get those. Better than a 10-1. There's no real need to explain that one. You could shop it a bit, find the 12-1s. When you're laying a number like this, you got to get every dollar back. Bryson, the top 10 at the PGA, his first top 10 in a major, fourth to be specific. Double barrel 66s on the weekend at a course he has won at. He feels good. I saw his presser this week. That's no surprise. He seems like he has even sorted out some of the accuracy issues with his driver. He's excited about a little fix he has made, and I'm excited for him. And bottom line, people don't give Bryson enough credit for his putting. The guy is essentially almost always putting for birdie, always has a close look. He can be very demonstrative at times when he misses, so the misses stick with you. He is one of the elite putters on tour. And I don't believe he gets that credit. You combine that with everything else he does, he sets up absolutely perfect for this tournament. This might be, geez, hold me to it. I would say TPC Boston and arguably Augusta, there might not be two better layouts, in my opinion, going forward for Bryson DeChambeau and what he does for his career. And it's easy to pick those layouts. Those are premier layouts. You'll only play these layouts with extremely competitive fields. So I could maybe pick an event that he's dominated at without, nearly the field strength that an Augusta will have. And I'm super excited for that in November. But TPC Boston fits Bryson to a T. I'm ready to put my chips in on the middle on Bryson DeChambeau this week. That's how confident I am. You better believe you got to be confident when you're playing this part of the board. Obviously, Justin Thomas will scare me. Obviously, Rory McIlroy. I mean, how many events can this guy go without not only contending to the very end, but winning? I mean, his contend rate, his win rate shows we should be on the precipice of a Rory explosion. And he loves the cash game of the FedEx Cup. It seems he brought it home last year, and he loves East Lake. So I'm scared Rory actually finds himself this week, but I'm willing to bite the even shorter price on Bryson DeChambeau, guys. We're going to go a little farther back. Patrick Reed. Let's get the 30-1 at BetMGM. It beats the 25 to 1s that are out there when I'm looking at the odds checker grid. We got to take it. Patrick Reed, he had a T13 at the PGA, a T9 at the Wyndham. Going back to July, in a premium event, he finished 10th place at the Memorial. This is a guy that has 3 top 10s in his last 4 runs at TPC Boston. Patrick Reed is a big game hunter, folks. FedEx Cup wins, WGC wins, Masters wins. When the paychecks get bigger, when the Ryder Cup points increase, Patrick Reed plays his best golf. There might not be a player I love hitting submit on a wager on more than Patrick Reed. He has done such magical things for me as a golf bettor in his career. I've been lucky enough to be on some of his bigger ones, but there's nothing I love more than Reed's intestinal fortitude. We've mentioned the past winners here, a Bryson, a Justin, a Rory. There's a very good chance whoever you bet on this week is going to have to stare down 1 or 2 of those super elites coming home on Sunday. And Reed never wilts. He never wilts. You're going to bet a guy this week, you better believe that he's got the stomach to face super elites for the big check when it counts. And it's easy to do that with a guy like Patrick Reed. His game is in great form. He loves big events. This is an easy bet to make. 30 to 1 at BetMGM. Checking out the odds checker grid again. Make sure we avoid those 25s. Let's find the 30s out there. Odds checker showing you BetMGM hosting the 30. Okay, a lot of you might be annoyed or not approve of my next selection, but I don't care. When a guy like Jim Herman wins, it emboldens me to do whatever I want. And maybe we could speak on that for a second. You could have given me 100 picks last week. I would not have picked Jim Herman. You could have given me 10 to 15 picks maybe on Sunday morning. I don't think I would have picked Jim Herman. Those losses are easy to get over. At least for me. You don't chase it. You accept it. Wasn't the greatest week. I think I came up empty almost everywhere. I guess that's why you pocket the wins, right? That's why you pocket the wins and we pocket the units, because this is a game and we'll stay up on top, but you got to take the good with the bad. And last week in a muck event, I got the bad end of the stick. Kevin Kisner charged late, but was never really in it. I guess if you each way that or top 5 Kisner, props to you, and you didn't come home with nothing in your pocket like me last week. But it wasn't the strongest week, but easy to shake off. I was never betting Jim Herman. When the guy who you never consider at all betting wins, you got to just accept it. Dust it off, look at the card, check out your odds checker grid for the next one, and get ready to go. It hurts when the guy wins who you almost took, or you've been riding for a bunch of events and decide I'm getting off here, and then he has that breakthrough. Those ones sting. Those ones make it hard to come here in front of these videos and do any sort of recordings. Those ones stick with you. But when a guy like Herman wins, you just move along, guys. Keep on keeping on. I guess I should get to this one. Tony Finau. I'm a believer. I'm a believer. I don't care what you say. I do not. He is going to win, and he is going to win a premier event. Major? Maybe not. FedEx Cup? Sounds absolutely perfect. I don't mean to break this down in the simplest terms, but anything that suits Bryson suits Tony, as far as I'm concerned. His game plays at all these places. 3rd at the 3M, 4th at the PGA. He even found it at the PGA despite losing his irons in Memphis. Come on, guys. It is all there. It is all there. His faults are magnified. What he hasn't done. But what he has done, I don't think we give him enough credit for. That's what I'm here for. Tony Finau, big win. Big win. Big boy party. This guy's going to crash in a big way, and that should surprise nobody, and we can end all the silly jokes. Because what also happens when a Jim Herman wins, as much as it emboldens me, the Twitter sphere, this niche golf betting community that we have that is so great, it's so easy to make your Finau jokes when you just list like for Herman's recent wins versus Finau's, but hey, I'm a Tony Finau believer. His game absolutely plays at TPC Boston. I'm upset I slept on a bit of a bigger number earlier, and I thought it would still be there, but people realize this guy's got game. I guess I should give the numbers. 33-1 seems to be a consensus. Let's avoid the 28s. You shop your odds checker grid. You'll find where you can bet Tony Finau at 33-1. I think it's the right wager to make this week. Check out the props show tomorrow. Maybe we always got to back up a Tony bet with a top 10, a top 5. Tony first round leader is always also in play. I feel like sometimes you should supplement your Tony to win tournament bets with Tony first round leader bets, because he is one of the best, as I like to joke on my podcast, golf channel players out there. When we get to network TV, the premium networks on the weekend, he doesn't do seemingly as well as Golf Channel on a Thursday or Friday. But I'm in on Tony Finau this week. I'm not even going to make it like plug your nose jokes. I truly, truly believe in this guy. Everything has happened, will happen. He's had a beautiful career in many ways. Again, I feel like the positives are all just overshadowed at the moment by everything people want to bring him down for not accomplishing, but winning's hard, golf's hard. I'll take my chance that this guy in the hunt, kicking the can at this number. If you're not a believer, I accept that, and you can move this bet anywhere you want. But for me, and people who trust me, we're going to the window with Tony Finau. Last pick, we're going to double up, or almost double up those odds, but a great opportunity, in my opinion, here this week. Tyrrell Hatton, 60-1, bet 365. Check your odds checkers grids on this one, because there are as low as 45-1 on Sugar House, on Unibet, and that's probably what Hatton should be this week, guys. I could list you about 10, 12 players listed shorter than Hatton, who I think he's got an exponentially better chance of actually winning this week than. I don't want to name the players. It always seems to backfire on me, and those players' win equity will increase the second I besmirch them. So I'm not going to do that. But Tyrrell Hatton at 60-1 is a fantastic bet. He has lost strokes putting in his last 2 events. That is very un-Hatton. He is a very stable putter of the golf ball. But what hasn't gone away, guys, is his great driving and his incredible ball striking. Those were all still there at the PGA. He was a bit of a sneaky, I don't want to say sneaky, because the guy, I don't think, finished higher than 6th place and had a win in like a run of 6 events. So people really did like him going into the PGA. He missed the cut, burned them. And he's kind of just been a forgotten identity, a forgotten man at this moment, I would say, compared to where we were at very strong fields like 2.5 weeks ago. I'm in on Hatton at 60-1, bet 365, shop it. There are 45-1s out there, again, as I mentioned on the odds checker grid. I actually think that's what the real number should be. But there are great numbers out there if you shop it using odds checker. And when it comes to Hatton, that would be on bet 365. Much like Patrick Reed also, I'm a true believer in a guy like Hatton, that let's say it's Hatton versus a Rahm or a JT down the stretch on the Sunday. Obviously, I'm not saying Hatton is those guys, but I don't think he wilts at all, like when he's put in that situation. He's, like a British bulldog out there, as we like to, call many of those feisty Englishmen. I think it sets up perfectly here for Hatton this week. 175-yard irons and above will make up almost half of your approaches. That can be his sweet spot. A difference maker for Hatton. So I said it all. I'm losing the moisture in my mouth. I got nothing else to say. The drivers, the irons, they will all stay. That putting is going to flip, and Hatton's going to be right back to contending like where he was literally for 2 straight months. That's me, Geoff Fienberg. Those are my outright picks for Odds Checker this week. Bryson, we're going to be about 2.5 units on that. We'll call it officially. The other ones, all full unit wagers. I'm not playing around with the each ways. I'm going to go big or I'm going to go home. Check me out tomorrow. I'll have a 3 or 4 props listed up here on the Odds Checker YouTube page. Like the video, subscribe so these drop right in your feed and I don't have to bug you on Twitter about you seeing them. They'll come right to you. And feel free to comment. Tell me your favorite outright pick of the week this week. Again, Northern Trust Open, TPC Boston. I'm Geoff Fienberg for Odds Checker.